everything is composed of dharmas, and that dharmas are momentary property particulars. Yeah. Nothing's permanent.
Right.
Phil Phails at philosophy.
So the chariot is a dharma. It's
because it's not a chariot forever. This house is not a house forever.
Right. Particulars are just these sort of momentary emergence of...
Everything's always deteriorating or changing. I don't know why I said deteriorating. But that is kind of it. Everything, this house, the wood, the things in it are slowly breaking down.
Yeah, I think changing is probably better than deteriorating for what they're getting at.
Changing.
Because the deteriorating would be the way to think about it if you're going into a nihilistic theory.
Okay.
There's nothing there. It's all going to break down into just entropic nothingness.
And so changing meaning it's got value at every stage, and there's no
shifts
idea.
Into other dharmas. It shifts into other particulars.
They have a different color. They've got a different thing.
Sure, this is going to fall apart, but at the same time, someone else is going to come along and build a different house here, or, develop some condos.
Yeah. And this is where they get to space and time, and that you have to have one dharma in order to have the other. They're connected. The dharmas are connected. Me from 10 seconds ago is connected to me now, and you need both of those together in order to... Space and time are dharmas too. Yeah. You differentiate the dharmas by way of the other dharmas with which they co-occur in complexes. Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm even using that right when I say the chariot's the dharma, or is the dharma the kind of fundamental particulars that make the chariot in synthesis with others? I'm not sure on that.
I think I
mean, the idea seems to be, though, that anything we can name,
nothing has its own being,
right, is just
intrinsicality,
a way of pointing at something in its temporary mode.
Right. And once you pointed it, it's not the thing that you thought it was.
Right. Right. But then there was that conversation about cause and effect too, like that.
Yeah. Because you need the cause to have. Oh, yeah. That in order to, you have cause and effect, and they happen in different space time.
Right.
And so what binds cause to effect is actually a mental process.
Right. I mean,
so they don't co-occur.
Right. Because we can talk about if I notice that. So is it that I notice the relationship between things, and that's what is cause and effect? Because basically, in order to have things co-occur, they have to exist at the same time. But cause and effect
don't exist.
The cause is always gone by the time the effect emerges.
There's a mental connector.
Yeah.
That separates it. They talk about because the sequence of causation cannot be self-standing without the mind. It and all its constituents must be empty. Oh, cause and effect. Like if I drop this, it falls on the ground. It fell on the ground. It falling on the ground is not a mental construct.
Yeah, the notion is that I made that happen, but the I that made it happen, by the time I'm recognizing, no longer exists. If we're letting go of this notion that things persist.
Right.
And even when you're going back and talking about time as this kind of sequence of things, do we really have sufficient warrant that time exists as a kind of another kind of space, that it's just a linear, or are we talking about simply the fundamental changing nature of reality? Like when people talk about time travel, like, can you travel to the past? Is the past actually a thing that exists out there to go to? It doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be the case that the past is gone.